the show going, man.
Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Come on now.
We're gonna have action soon. Right here. It ain't going nowhere.
Boy, yeah, you got some technique, boy. You ain't show me that this summer.
Hey, Wildcat.
Ball at the 5, 3rd down and 2.
That was bad.
Let's go have some fun, bro. We ain't got to talk about too much.
He wasn't playing the ball.
It's holding.
Cliff. It's a cliff. How is that not called?
That ain't gonna call a damn thing.
What is the delay for? He's standing right there.
He's taking a card out. He's a piece of paper.
It's that close? Dear Lord.
Hello and welcome. We are the Aussie Guys. I'm AJ.
Like you don't already know that. You've been watching us for the last 15 minutes.
That's right. Last 15 minutes. Try last 42 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, 42. That's what it says on the little thing. 42 minutes. Yeah, we are actually broadcasting live, but also this is, if you might be listening to this via our normal pod feed, and this is our 2019 Predictions Pod Spectacular. Let's hope it is spectacular. I'm sure it will be with guests of this caliber, G. Our good friends...
When are they coming on?
When are they getting
Our good friends, the FF fellas. We've got Seth and Kyle. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing great. Thanks again for having us on. We're really looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. It's good to be back. G, dude, it was you were out for like a year and a half.
Where?
I don't know.
It felt too long without having G on the show.
AJ
absolutely knocking it out of the park, holding it down the fort. But the G comments that you can expect on every podcast to just
and the heat you brought
bonkers, a little bit wild. We were missing that for what felt like a year, but I think it was about a month.
Oh, Memphis fires me up.
Great.
He gets me
That's
upset.
how long you ran.
We're like a married couple almost now. Just argue. That's all we do.
Oh my! You guys, I'm sure, know what it's like. It's a hard gig to do it on your own, and I don't know that it's that pleasant to listen to either. Like, you kind of need the yin and the yang.
Well, mate, I still haven't listened in. How long? We've been doing 6 years.
Yeah.
I have never ever listened to one of our podcasts.
All right, Johnny Depp.
Mate, I listened to 5 minutes and heard my own voice and go, "Oh my God, that's it. I'm never listening again." Because how people listen to me is beyond me. I don't know how my wife has put up with me for 20 years. I think she's sort of trying to work out, realise that now. After
I was going to say,
she's doing a lot of late nights at the moment.
If that question occurs to her,
at this point, though,
you're in a lot of trouble. We also have Randy Young, DFF Memphis, on the sort of on the line.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's muted his mic. There he is. He's at work. He's
He's undercover.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Hey!
He's come and gone.
He's come and gone. I was going to say, people don't really realise that Randy works naked, but he certainly... Hold on.
If you have no idea what we're talking about now, and you're just listening on the regular podcast, we can all see each other on the YouTube channel. So Randy is incognito at the moment.
Who's 42, Kyle? Sorry, man, for my lack of knowledge about NASCAR.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 42 on my hat.
Is it Kyle
It's
Busch?
NASCAR hat. It's Kyle Larson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's his favorite racer.
Yeah.
He is, he's a wheel man, bro. He's, I will see how much longer he's in NASCAR, though, because he's a big dirt track guy, so he might hang it up before. He might pull an Andrew Luck on me, unfortunately, but we'll see for now.
Mate, we want to try and keep Memphis on as long as we possibly can. So
What a segue, Kyle. That was professional.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was that as big a bombshell as we have almost ever had?
Dude, the timing of it was the craziest part. You know, I don't remember when Barry hung it up. Sorry, Jerry, but I was too young, wasn't as into football then. And I know when Megatron hung it up, though, that news broke, I believe, the week of the Super Bowl, the week before. So people were still tuned into football and things like that. It wasn't like the dead of the off season. And I just don't remember it being as crazy. I think with the Andrew Luck thing. It came out of nowhere. There wasn't really any indication that this was going to happen. And in the world of fantasy football, that was the biggest draft weekend of the year. Like, I know that I was at a draft with a bunch of people doing it live, and like the news pops. I was doing a draft at the same time on the Sleeper app. The app crashes, like Twitter's going berserk, and I'm just it was crazy. So I think all the circumstances around it, I felt really bad for Luck, because that was obviously not the intention to have that released at that time, and be out, on the field and things like that. He should have been able to do it on his own terms, but I get it. But yeah, for me, I mean, recency bias, but it was definitely one of the craziest things I could remember.
Just, I don't know if you guys know, was that like a Schefter or a rap sheet thing? That, I mean, it was clearly leaked by somebody, because there's no way known, as you said, like during the game that news would be leaked, because that was shocking. And then he had the post-game presser, and then he sort of had to basically do it. I don't know if he was planning on doing it then.
No, I think the idea was that he had a press conference scheduled for Sunday, the following after it, and it would have been like he would have been prepared, and I mean, he had a speech already. I don't think he was just winging that speech. And if you haven't watched his post game conference, it's worth a listen. It's like 25 minutes, but you can really tell this was an agonizing decision for him.
It is gut wrenching. It is gut wrenching.
Right, and I don't blame Adam Schefter for breaking the news, because that's literally his only job, is to break news when he hears it. I do blame the person that decided to leak the news during that game. Screw that guy, because Andrew Luck deserved better than that. I understand being upset. I understand being frustrated as a fan if you're doing all that kind of stuff, but good Lord, he deserved better than being booed off the field for his last time.
I also don't blame the fans for booing, to be honest, like in the moment, because we were just at that stadium last year with we drove out to Indy, hung out with our boy Memphis, and got to watch my Cowboys get their asses kicked all up and down the field by Andrew Luck and the Colts, unfortunately. But we were in that stadium, and that was playoff weekend for fantasy football. There is no service in there. Like the fact that so all people were getting were the couple people that could get either text. More than likely, they probably couldn't get online. I know that the alerts that I did get, like notifications, all it said was Luck retires. That's it. There was no context to it or anything. And so you're just stuck. And then you look down on the field, and the guy's just standing there like nothing's going on, because he probably doesn't know, that this is got leaked. And then when he does get notified, right? Hey, Schefter broke this. You're outed, right?
Right. What
is he going to do? He's just going to turn around and start doing his speech right there on the sideline. Like, the people in the moment, I'm sure a lot of them, there's always morons out there that are going to, be pissed beyond all means for no reason. It's his life. But I think that the majority of people, after, actually thinking through, there wouldn't have been as many boos if this would have gone a different way. But
well, the biggest fans in town were at that game at that time. You're at a pre-3 game.
Mm-hmm.
You've been drinking all day, and you're there in the quarter of a preseason.
Mm-hmm.
They're the biggest thing. There is no, and I'm borrowing this from Colin Cowherd. These are people that name their dog and their kids Andrew because they're that big of a fan. Of course, they're heartbroken. There's no Kyle's. So, and I'm sure these same people the next day that booed felt bad about it Sunday morning, but in the moment, a few Bud Lights, they're pissed off. They're a little hurt. They just bought season tickets. You know what season tickets cost for an NFL team? And you think you're buying Andrew Luck and you're getting Jacoby Brissett. If that's not bait and switch, I don't know what is.
Yep.
It's, especially after what was it a couple of years ago when Jim Irsay said that, hey, Luck will be back, no problems, buy your season tickets, get them now, and he never played for the whole season. So that fans are still cheesed off at that fact as well.
And they lived through this twice in the last, when did Peyton get hurt, right? They had that season and were out of nowhere. He couldn't play, right? And it was just a horrible season for that team because they were not prepared. And then when Luck was out 2 years ago, they're trying to piece it together by trading for Brissett right when the season started. So they know that while this is a different situation, and I totally get it. I'm on board with the Colts being able to at least, be a solid team based off who's there now and the team around Brissett. It's not Andrew Luck, so they don't want to go through that again, I'm sure. because I know the years when Romo would go down and not be able to play, and we were sitting there, it's horrible. So I get it.
Okay, guys, how about if we actually get to some predictions and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Is that what we're doing here? Oh, yeah.
I thought this was the Dak and Luck.
yeah. The Cowboys and Colts hour. That's what I signed up for.
But hey, we do have to get back in the rhythm of Drink of the Pod.
Mate, what time is it?
It's a bit sad. I just went to my fridge to get a drink. I've literally got that. That's all I've got in there. It's a Kaiju.
Not even worth bringing it out.
Better off Kaiju Crush beer. I've got
I like it.
Zero idea what this is like. But anyway, that's
Did I bring that for you?
Soul drink. Yeah, you did.
Mate, AJ went on this health kick, and I kept bringing drinks to the pod, and he just kept storing them away. Like that's not the idea of the Drink of the Pod.
Thank you very much.
I actually filled his fridge of free alcohol.
Nice.
Cheers to
Live
the
reaction.
2019 NFL season. Jets.
I got stuck in the gin and tonics last night, mate, and I went to bed feeling a little bit shady.
Oh,
a bit shady. No good. No good. Oh, all right. Let's get this puppy underway. All right. Where do you want to start, AJ? Are you leading this thing?
You do it. You lead it. Okay, so predictions.
The things we were discussing tonight will be the winners of each division, the AFC, NFC. We'll be discussing who will be the two teams meeting in the Super Bowl, plus obviously the two wildcard teams. The Super Bowl champion overall. We'll be looking at offensive and defensive player of the year, offensive and defensive rookie of the year, the coach on the hot seat, your riser for 2019 and your faller for 2019. Your big call, that can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be about a play. It can be about, I don't know, the water boy. I don't care, just as long as it's big. And then we have the play of the year, which was last year was the Miami Miracle against the Patriots. You could probably look at someone, as I tweeted out, I messaged you guys, you could look at something like the Odell Beckham catch, which is, he's still living on that. The Minnesota Miracle, just a big play. It doesn't have to be a turning point of a game. It just be something that we'll be talking about once the year is over. So there are our discussion pieces. So where would you like to start?
You call it.
Okay, let's start with the games themselves, and let's start with the AFC, and let's go through the East, West, North, and South, and let's talk about our winners. Are
you going to write this down?
Okay, I'll write it down. Thank you. Okay, we'll go at the top of the screen. So that's Seth first, Kyle. Then we'll go Memphis, and then us two.
Yep.
So AFC East, who's taking out the title?
AFC East. Well, this was a very tough decision. After
hours of thought went into this.
It's been hard for the last 15 years.
The Patriots are going to continue to dominate.
Yeah.
Although, I do think that the Jets and the Bills will offer more resistance than they have the previous decade, which is not saying much, but it's still worth mentioning.
Gee, do you want to just stay in the East, get everybody's East, and then go to the next division, or are you going to get all of Seth's AFC, or how do you want to do it?
Seth might as well give us your whole list. Give us your 4 and your wild cards, and we'll move on to the next person.
Okay.
So we got the West end in the AFC.
Right.
Seth.
So West Chiefs, pretty thick there. Yep. South, that one is very difficult. After the Andrew Luck news, you want to think about the. No one wants to think about the Titans, but I think they're the odds-on favorite at the moment in terms of Vegas odds, just because of their defense. I don't know, man. And you have the Texans, which is far more fun to think about from a fantasy perspective, but their defense is shaky at best, and they can't get an offensive line to save their lives. I'm going to go with Jacksonville because on paper they should have the best defense, and if the Nick Foles experience is even
MVP Super Bowl,
it's even a little bit better than Bortles, which it should be at this point. It's possible that they have enough offense to outperform the Titans and then edge them out over the Texans. But it could go one of 3 or 4 ways here. So,
it could literally go one of 4 ways. You're right.
Who was the North?
The North would be. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I am super high on Lamar Jackson.
High
this year. Might be high. Maybe I am. He came back from Colorado, so I might still be feeling the effects there. But I think the Ravens, they're in it every single seasons. And Matthew Gilbert says, hopefully Texans can get Tunsil. Man, if that happens, they're getting raked over the coals in terms of giving up draft picks. They're going to be giving up their draft picks for like the next 3 years. It might be worth it though to protect your star quarterback. I know.
Speaking of getting high,
very good.
Okay, you two wild cards.
I'm going to go with the Steelers. Sorry, Browns fans. I don't think the Browns are going to be quite good enough yet to edge out the more experienced Steelers team. And then I'll go with the Texans as well.
Very good. All right, Carl, fire away, bud.
Yeah, so some of these, like the Patriots, that's easy. Tom Brady's still there? Yeah, okay. Then they're winning that.
Belichick's still there.
So we're going, where are we going next? South? West?
No, West.
Whatever you like.
So, yep, I'm going to stick with the Chiefs as well. I do think that the Chargers are really close. I wish they had Melvin Gordon, but the Chargers team is really solid. But that Chiefs with Pat Mahomes and that offense, everybody's back. Tyreek Hill obviously is going to be on the field right away. So I'm going to take Kansas City in the West to take that division. The only one that's really interesting to me, I think the North maybe, but the South with Andrew Luck retiring there's a lot of question marks. And I think it could be any of the 4 teams. There's not too many divisions in which you could say from top to bottom that they have a chance. But when it comes down to that, while I get, Jacksonville's defense is pretty good, I'm going to go with the best quarterback, hands down, in the division. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. The offensive line is trash. Tunsil will be great. And they tried, I guess, to address the offensive line. I'm not quite sure how much that's going to pay off for 2019. But I think the Houston Texans are going to take the South. That one could be close. 9 wins could take that one in the South. And then for the North, I'm going to go with the Steelers. This one's pretty close. Cleveland's got a lot of hype, obviously. But I think Ben's got one last run in him. So I'm going to go with the Steelers in the AFC North. And then my wild card teams are the Chargers. I think this could be another year where the Chargers have the second or third best record in the AFC, and they get stuck, being a wild card team and having to go on the road. And they could pick up a victory that's definitely possible. But I think the Chargers are a pretty safe wild card pick. And then I will put the Cleveland Browns in there as a wild card team. They just have so much talent. For me, it comes down to pretty much them and Baltimore. But I think that Cleveland's talent of adding those offensive weapons are going to make the difference. And as much as I love Lamar Jackson for fantasy, we'll see if the NFL figures him out. There could be some struggles there. They have a really young offense, so it might just take a little bit too long for them to get rolling. But I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns, my second wild card.
Beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna go in real quick and say I might actually be high right now because I don't know why I would ever pick the Texans over the Chargers for the wild card. So I need to change that one.
Nope, he already wrote it down.
I wrote it. It's down.
I'm so sorry, AJ.
Mate, it is in stone like Moses in the 12. Is it 12 commandments?
What?
Is it 10? Yeah. 12? How many is there?
How many is 10? There, did you say?
I'm not a Catholic. I got no idea.
How many is there?
How many is there? 10?
There's 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
is there 12?
Yes.
Okay.
No, hang on.
There's 10.
Oh, did I get it wrong? There's 10.
There's 10.
I got it wrong. I'll have some more Kaiju Crush.
All right. Is Memphis there, or he's gone back to work?
No, he's there.
I'm about out of time, so he has the rest of
I've got your stuff, dude.
Written down. AFC, I'll give it to the tallest midget. I think that's still a bad team. The defense isn't getting any better, in my opinion. They're missing Jadeveon Clowney. Sorry about that.
Sack him.
J.J. Watt's still there. Bad offense, but I will go with Kyle. No wild card from the South. Pittsburgh's been quiet and refocused all off to absolutely destroy that. No distractions, and if you watch them in that third preseason game, they demolished Tennessee. They just looked phenomenal. So big fan of Pittsburgh. And the AFC, it's the Patriots. I don't even need to tell you why. The Patriots. And In the West, it's Kansas City, the Fighting Mahomes. That's another obvious. The wild card forward. And then I'm going with the real wild card. Really easy schedule.
Damn.
The Jets do not travel west. They play 0 games outside of the times. It's a very manageable schedule. They still get their 2 games with the Dolphins, 2 games with the Bills. I think they can split with the Pats, and I think they can do enough to finish in 9-7. Adam Gase took the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs in Miami, ironically also 7 record. And I just think Cleveland's schedule is just too tough. There's a real scenario where Cleveland could start this season 1-5. It is a brutal schedule. And I just invest and be willing to put my name on a guy named Freddie. Seems like a cool guy. Like I'd want to hang out and have a beer with him. But he feels much more collegiate. He feels much more Steve Spurrier. He feels much more Bobby Bowden. He does not feel like it. So because of that, I am the Jets and the Chargers, the wild card.
Okay. Oof, Jets. Wow.
But I'm the same guy on the pod. 7-8. I will hang my hat on. I'm going to turn you guys up. Brock, he's got the rest of my things written down. I wish you guys all the best and have a great rest of the show.
Cheers, Randy.
See you, man. See you, Memphis. All right. So, AJ, do you want to quickly rip through your...
Yes. Let me do that. Patriots. Yeah. There's one word answer for... And in the West, it's almost a one-word answer as well. Chiefs. Although I do have the Chargers for a wild card, so I'm going to throw that in now while I'm talking about the West. Now, in the South, I did put the Texans. I think that they're... look, as you said, that division maybe amongst all of them looks the most wide open.
As divisional winners or wild card, Texans?
Winners of the division, yep. And I went for, drum roll, the Browns.
Hey.
Ooh, and I gave the Steelers a wild card. Because I feel that the Steelers, I mean, they're hanging in there, man. It's a team where they just are perennially there, no matter what sort of lumps they take in any off-season. They're always thereabouts, and the same can be said for Baltimore, But I think the Browns, they could be the story of the NFL in a way this year and win the division, and Cleveland will go bananas. Brownie fans.
They're going to totally be the story one way or the other. They are going to be a huge story this year, man.
They're going to be looting shops, turning over cars, setting police cars on fire, whether they win or lose. So get out of Cleveland.
It's a no-win situation. If they go 8-8, they're going to turn over cars.
Yeah, so mate, just put your house on Airbnb for around the end of the season. Get out for a holiday. Okay, I've got the Pats in the East, obviously. I've got the Chiefs in the West, same as everybody else. I'm going to jump on with AJ. I'm going to get on the Browns on the North. You have that much talent. And I know Randers was just talking about the head coach, and he's probably a bit more college than pros. But mate, you got a quarterback who plays the pros like a college quarterback. So mate, just match made in heaven. He's a professional quarterback, but he does, man. He plays it like he's still in college, and that's working for him at the moment. In the South, I'm going the Jags. I think they've learnt from the firecracker put up their backside last year that you just don't turn up the year after making the playoffs and think it's all going to happen again. I think they've learnt the lesson there, and also they've got a better quality QB. And they've got a running back now that I think is going to show he's probably put his best season to date so far. My wild cards are the Texans. I just think their offense can be extremely potent. Offensive line, obviously, we've already spoke about, and they've got a good enough defense. And I'm going to throw the Chargers in there because I just don't think you can leave Phillip Rivers and the boys out of the wild card. So, unfortunately, that means that I don't have the Steelers making it. So we'll see how that pans out. All right, so let's move across to the NFC. So, Seth, mate, you're up.
All right, so for the East, it's pretty easily the Eagles. Not quite as easy as the Patriots. Sorry, Kyle, but it's pretty easy. West, Rams, also very easy to go. The Rams there, after 2 horrendous performances in the playoff against the Bears and then the Patriots. Not the playoffs. The Bears were in the regular season. Those were the only 2 bad games of the year. Those guys are going to continue to be awesome. For the North, I'm going to take the Bears again. It's not going to be as dominant as it was last year, though. I expect Aaron Rodgers to be back fully healthy, new offense, and we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers on some of the other stuff we're going to talk about later. And then the Vikings, who the team I love this year. This is one of my favorite divisions in the NFL. Not just because I'm a Bears fan, but because they're such good. There's such good competition. And the North for the win.
And now you be careful now.
Sorry now. All right, so
careful.
NFC South.
Careful.
Yeah, this one very, very tricky.
Remember my love for you.
Well,
don't influence them.
So I'm going to go with the Saints, though.
Oh, and we lost him. Oh, where did he go?
I know.
Just mute him. Just mute him. We don't have to lose him. Just mute him.
Just kick him out.
Yeah, I know. That offense, the Falcons' offense should be able to go toe to toe with anybody in the league. And the defense, though, man, we just haven't seen that defense now because everybody and their mother was on IR last year. That's definitely part of it. But I don't know if they're ready to go toe to toe with Sean Payton again and be able to edge out that division. So I do have them as a wild card. No, the Falcons. So
don't butter me up now, mate.
No. Well, they're out of the wild card race now. No, I do have the Falcons in the wild card, and then I also have the Packers as the other wild card.
Packers, very good. You don't want to change it now before we bring up another team you haven't thought of?
No.
So Seth, you do not have Minnesota in.
No. I have the Packers edging out the Minnesota Vikings for the wild card.
Got it.
All right, Kyle.
Oh,
mate,
me.
Yeah. Stand on your soapbox, dude.
The NFC East, obviously, easy, far and away. Dallas Cowboys. I mean, come on. No, but seriously, I'm never going to pick against the Cowboys. So if you came here expecting a different answer, you don't listen to our show. I'm a homer. No, but the reason I'm still picking the Cowboys, even though Zeke might not be there for a short term, their start to the season is a cakewalk. Giants, Redskins, Dolphins. There you go, 3-0. It's a tough slate after that. They're playing a first place schedule this year. So, but the defense is solid. The linebackers are locked up. They got Lawrence. They're now on a long-term deal. And I think that they can still be top dogs in that division. And Zeke will be on the field at some point because like Memphis mentioned earlier, he's running out of money, right? He's not going to get paid if he's not there. So Dallas Cowboys in the East. The West, I really wanted to put someone else in here besides the Rams, not because I don't like their team, but they were exposed a little bit by the Patriots last year, and we've seen great offenses not be able to duplicate seasons after getting bounced in the Super Bowl. So the problem is that the rest of that division is not great. San Fran and Arizona have a long way to go, and as much as Seattle always seems to be there, they're missing a lot of pieces. They don't have the receivers, I think, to keep up. Their defense is not as strong. They're missing some of their key pieces, whether it's due to injury, suspension, with Reed there in the middle. So I'm going to go with the Rams in the West, and I think they can take it pretty easily there. In the South, this is not to get on anyone's good side. I am going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I think that their defense is going to be improved, but the thing that I've been on all off season is I think this offense is going to be just continuing to click in a big way. Dirk Cutter being there for the first time in his first year in his second stint. I think this offense is just going to be one of the tops in the league. The receivers are awesome. Freeman back is going to be big, and Matty Ice is just underappreciated in this league. So I think he's going to have a big year. So I got the Atlanta Falcons, and then I do have the Packers bouncing back. First year head coach Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers can get along enough to be tops in that division. I do like the Bears. I have them as a wild card team, but they're playing a first place schedule. And those worst to first teams sometimes do regress a little bit, but I do think that the Bears are in for a nice season under second year coach Matt Nagy. So I got them as a wild card. And regrettably, I do have the Philadelphia Eagles as a wild card team as well. They added a lot of weapons around Wentz this year. I think he can stay healthy enough to make this make them a playoff team. So they'll obviously get bounced in the first round, but I will put the Eagles in.
AJ.
All right. Eagles.
Mate, when I say your name, it's like I wake you up. Are you not listening to what anybody has to say?
What are you talking about? I am in the engine room here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
as a fellow producer, AJ, I know exactly what you're saying here.
As someone that produced like 6 of our 400 episodes, I'm with you too.
criminally underappreciated.
I've never produced anything.
Never.
2 kids is about all I've ever produced.
I was gonna say, you got
that's it.
Never mind.
Man, the heartache that I had to go through that one day that I had to explain to you, press that little square, then file, save as. Man, that took that was 30 minutes of my life.
Come on.
Okay. Eagles is an easy one. Rams as well, I reckon, is an easy one. Then it starts to... Now, NFC is a lot tougher to really sort out than AFC, there's no doubt. And in the South, I did go Falcons, partly because of my physical proximity to G and those guns.
Probably a wise decision all around. I'm far enough away that I can withstand G's wrath.
No, but I do like the Falcons. And incidentally, as wild card, I
can't do the 2 guns, and it hurts my shoulder to do the 2
really?
guns. I have to do that. I can do.
There you go.
There you go.
You can do the. Speaking of what you can do there, although that's not really quite the same. Forget that segue. But I've got the Panthers as a wild card, and I also have the Cowboys as a wild card.
So who'd you have in the North?
I got the Vikings, and that means the Packers missed out completely.
And no Bears either then.
No. But you know what? You can't get away without making a call. You can't get away. Someone's going to miss out. Yep. And someone's going to miss out that everybody's going to be shocked by. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe X missed out. It'll be someone.
Yeah, there's so much more parity, like you said, in the NFC between all the teams of the divisions.
Right.
There are in the AFC. The AFC North being the exception.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to keep everybody happy. That's what I do.
I like it.
In the East, I have the Cowboys with Zeke.
Darn right.
Minus Zeke? Sorry. No. In the West, I have the Rams. I think everybody had the Rams. I'll let you know what Randy had in a minute too. In the North, Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
In the South, I have the Falcons. I just think, as we spoke about, mate, this offense, mate, they can click up 30, no problems.
No one's talking about them.
They're not really, are
they?
They're not. That's fine. We've got mate. You look at Calvin Ridley, the number 2, mate, and he's as a rookie put up he had some big weeks which sort of supplemented it, but mate, the guy still put over 1,000 yards up. That just goes to show what this offense is all about.
Yeah.
And we're having Freeman back. We're going to get Freeman. We had 2 years ago. Who knows? I don't know. No one knows. He believes he can, and that's all, mate. It's good enough for me. Self-belief goes a long way. So as my wild cards, I have the Saints, just because it's Drew Brees and that offense as well. Yeah. And that they do have a defense that can stand up. And I have the Vikings. So that means I have the Eagles missing. I have the Packers missing. I just don't know where the Packers are at the moment. I don't know how well they're going to gel. Aaron Rodgers seems like a really hard guy to please.
Oh,
a really hard guy to please.
Yeah.
And look, the only way you're going to please him is to say, mate, you just do whatever you want. And really, football teams don't work that well when that happens. So that's where I have it. So that brings us down, lads, to
Randy.
Oh, Randy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Can't forget about our boy out there.
Okay, Randers in the NFC. He has the Rams.
Tick.
The Phillies.
Tick.
Green Bay. New Orleans.
Ugh.
And his wild cards are Dallas and the Falcons.
Okay.
So he's only annoyed.
Slightly redeemed himself.
He's only annoyed
He's only
Seth.
pissed off Seth. Yeah.
That's right. Mate,
And I'm not even pissed off because, like I said, all 3 of those teams very, very close.
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay, so that brings us down to our AFC champion and our NFC champion. Who will be the two teams facing each other in Super Bowl? What are we up to?
59.
52?
Who knows?
I don't know. Is it 53? 53.
I think.
It's a low number, isn't it?
50 something.
Yes. It is. Yes. But
Okay, so who have we got? Seth, who are the two teams facing off? And then give us your winner.
Yeah, so I have the
Super Bowl
Patriots
champion.
once again. Coming out of left field on that one.
What the hell? What basis do you have?
Higher and get the hell out already.
You pulled that one straight out of your ass. I don't know where that came from, mate.
So over the Patriots dynasty. We get it. You're the greatest dynasty in all of sports forever. Just shut up and let us continue on from now. Give Rivers a chance. So I'm going to go Patriots over the Saints. I think Breeze finally gets there, and it's going to come up short again because Bill Belichick is almost impossible to be beat.
Mate, that'd be it. He'd give it away then, wouldn't he? Mate, look,
Drew made it there and then fell short.
He'd rather go out there and get absolutely sorted than what's happened over the past 2 years.
I think so.
Yeah.
But man, New Orleans would just be, well, they have Mardi Gras, so they just get drunk all the time. The New Orleans would be very, very sad.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then we have, obviously, as you said, we have the Patriots going for another one. Just add another ring. Oh, unbelievable. All right, Kyle.
goodness.
All right.
I really hate that call from Seth. I just don't.
Yeah. It's 54, by the way. Super Bowl 54.
Ah,
54.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I can sleep tonight.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs representing the AFC. I think that that offense is just too high powered. They can make another. Oh, dude, the Bills just cut Shady McCoy.
Oh,
breaking news.
Yeah, Dunzo, Frank Gore. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, I need to teach my player riser.
I cannot be a part of this.
All of that stuff is changing right on the fly.
I'm retiring from the league. Just F it.
God. Man, the Texans are going to be all over Shady, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Damn it.
Mate,
you should go there.
Devin Singletary's ADP just rose.
Yeah, get ready.
Everybody's going to go after Singletary.
Actually, just hang on. Pause the record. No.
Dang it. We just had our big home league draft on Thursday, and there's some keepers in there, and dang it, dude. I was going to take Singletary like in round 7. I'm like, forget it. I'm just taking him. Running backs are going crazy. And then this guy 2 picks ahead of me who always takes all the rookies no matter what. He took him right ahead of me, and now it's looking mighty fine. So
unrelated.
I think I've done 3 redrafts, and I have him in all 3. I think I even took him in the Scott Fish Bowl.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh,
dang, dude, it's
gee.
Well, and there goes my Carlos Hyde hope to be the Texans running back. It depends. If the Chargers really want to piss Melvin off, go get Shady. Because Shady, what does he need? He doesn't need the money anymore. He's looking for rings.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'd hope. Anyway, then again, you did side with the Bills. So
who'd you have called for?
Right. So I got the Chiefs representing the AFC, and then I have the Falcons representing the NFC. I think that they are going to I think there's a few factors to this. I think the Saints take a step back. I think this is the beginning of the end for Drew Brees. They did not make the playoffs in my predictions here. So I think the Falcons, with that helping them, I like all the teams from the North, but they're going to cannibalize each other just a little bit. I'm not sure there's like a clear number 1 there. And like I said, with the Rams, I just think there's a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover there. So I'm going Falcons, Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And
that's right, dude. It's fine.
I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I think right. It would be a hell of a Super Bowl for sure, man. That scoreboard would be lit up. But I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs as of right now. But Chiefs over Falcons.
And Kyle, you are such a highly intelligent gentleman, and we love having you on. Very considered opinions, and I think at the end of the day, ultimately quite correct as well. It's exactly the same as what I've got. I've got Chiefs Falcons with Chiefs getting across the line.
We're not going to believe
that would be a very fun Super Bowl. It'd be a lot more fun than my Super Bowl.
Your Super Bowl would suck. It was Patriots and Saints, please. Spell us.
Yeah, I'm living in the real world for this pick, so my other picks later on don't sound so outlandish.
All right. Well, I have the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl, and I have them playing against the Falcons.
Oh, get out of town!
And I also have the Chiefs beating the Falcons. I got to be realistic, and I just. Look, it's one of those. When I look at it now, I thought, the Chiefs are just going to be too. The thing I have, like, both defenses suck. Well, not suck. They don't suck. That's the Chiefs' defense is really poor. The Falcons has been poor, but that's based on injuries, and I think that's going to take a. Now that we got our boys back, Neil Jones for a whole season. But look, you got two defenses that really haven't proven anything of late. I just, for some reason, I just think this Chiefs offense is just so littered with guys that can just light up scoreboards. I just think in the end it'd be an absolute sprint to the end just so you can put up the most points. But I just feel the Chiefs in the end would just have. It's just the Mahomes thing, isn't it? It's the mayhem.
How good would that be?
Yeah,
man.
So there we have three guys with it all. That's unbelievable.
What did Memphis have?
Memphis
that's
had.
Awesome.
He won't have this. Memphis has his two teams playing off for Kansas City and the Rams.
Ooh,
with the Rams.
Ooh,
doing the Chiefs in the
story
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
No, but again, it's a good. Wouldn't mind watching that Super Bowl though.
Well, not really.
No,
after
awesome,
what the
dude.
Rams
Remember
put up last year.
Ours is better, just quietly.
Yeah.
Right.
But that Chiefs-Rams game from last year, holy crap. Because, I mean, the NFL would just be – they'd all be changing their pants if that was doable.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go away from real football in a sort of way, and we'll go on to some we'll go into the offensive player of the year. Now, this has most of the time been a lot of the time of recent has been a quarterback award. We did have Todd Gurley sort of sticking his nose in there and destroying all that for a second. And mate, last year, if it wasn't obviously for what Patty Mahomes did, we would have been probably saying that Saquon Barkley was the MVP, offensive MVP of last year. So we'll keep going with the way we've been doing it at the moment. We have Seth at the top. Give us your MVP, your offensive player of the year.
Yeah, so do you want offensive player of the year and an MVP?
No, we're not doing it. Well, you find that the MVP, if you look at it, mate, usually like either the defensive or usually the offensive is the MVP.
You can throw it in there.
But you can throw it in there if you want, mate. That's fine.
I have it as the MVP will be Aaron Rodgers because I think this is going to be the biggest FU season of history for Aaron Rodgers. Is going to come out there and just light people up. It's like, yeah, I was putting the team on my back all this time, and McCarthy was dragging me down. But the offensive player of the year,
he's going to have to do that, Seth, because he's made it very clear that that was the case.
Yes, absolutely. If he is mediocre this year, even if he gets injured and it's not really his fault, if he's in anything less than peak Rodgers this year, his legacy will be forever tarnished. I think, which I hope is not the case because I think he is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. But on to a quarterback that's not the greatest we've ever seen, but will be very great in 2019. I'm giving the offensive player of the year to Kyler Murray.
Whoa!
What?
Of my predictions.
You say the offensive rookie of the year?
Also offensive rookie of the year.
Oh!
Strap in, folks. This is going to be a wild ride.
Oh, my God. This is like one of those roller coasters that gets to the top and stops, and you're stuck there for like 4 hours, hanging upside down while the blood rushes to your head.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This is, like I said, my real football takes were rooted in reality because this one is going to go off the rails for sure. Offensive player of the year, Kyler Murray, and as well as offensive rookie. So patch that in. I think this team is going to score a lot of points And I don't know how many games they're going to win, but they're going to score a lot of points, and it's going to be very, very interesting for fantasy.
Did you watch preseason?
Jeez. Offensive player of the year.
Ooh,
oh my God.
All right, Kyle, give us your guys. We got. I don't know if we can move on from that.
That's interesting, man. I
need a defib. Have you got a defib?
So we're offensive play. Are we doing MVP at the same time? Sorry, I was
Shoot it out there. Shoot it out there, mate.
All right. So the offensive player of the year for me is going to be Aaron Rodgers. I agree that I think that I have him as a playoff team. I think he's going to turn it around, and he's going to earn that award. But for me, the MVP this season is going to be Matty Ice. I think I'm obviously high on the Falcons getting there. I think this offense is going to be unreal this season. I really hope so because I'm buying in almost everywhere. So I think Matt Ryan is going to be the MVP for 2019. And
who was your offensive player of the year?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so I had them wrong way around. My bad.
And not that. And I think Mahomes is obviously going to put up big numbers, but he won't do what he did last year. And he was just all over. He won everything last year. So you don't see. I mean, look at the voting is never logical. You could easily just give MVP to Tom Brady every single year, but they don't usually do that, right? So I think that it will get mixed up just a little bit, and that's why I'm going with those guys.
AJ,
my offensive player of the year and MVP is envelope play. Christian McCaffrey.
You got to read out the wrong movie.
No, I'm certainly not going to. Christian McCaffrey, because he's going to be the first.
I actually thought about him.
Player in NFL history to have 1,000 yards rushing, 100 receptions, and 1,000 receiving yards.
Dang.
Over David Johnson?
He came so close. Last year he had 1,098 yards rushing and 107 receptions for 867 yards, and I think he's going to go a little bit better this year. And with that kind of a season, I think it's going to be a shoe-in for offensive MVP. Offensive Player of the Year and MVP, one package. I think he takes it out.
I dig it.
Okay. I haven't done an MVP because I made up these rules, but you'll change them on me.
Wing it.
So I'm going to get I'm going to go back. I worked with I doubled up last year on Aaron Donald, which turned out to be correct. So I'm going to double up on Mayhem. I think Mayhem will be the MVP again this season. In Mahomes, just because I have him on a lot of teams. So I want him to be the MVP.
You're invested.
I'm very invested. And my offensive player of the year, based on the fact, and as Kyle has been so good to pump up my Falcons, mate, I think this is the year that Julio Jones breaks out. This is his breakout season. Julio, he'll go for 15.
The top 3 wide receiver in the NFL is breaking out this year.
It's his breakout year. Mate, he's going to have his season high touchdowns, and he's going to easily crack 1,500 yards. So I'd see Julio Jones I think he's pretty happy to give him, every time he asks for more money, they give him more money and he responds. And I think he knows that it's getting near the end now. He's not in his prime. He's just on the other side of his prime. But I think this is the year that the Falcons' offense really just brings back what we had in our Super Bowl run year.
So
very nice.
So that's 11 touchdowns to beat his overall best from 20.
No, he's going to have more than that. He's going to have about 14.
15. Oh, there 15. We go. I like it. Yeah,
15
I like it.
touchdowns. Oh man,
dude, I dig it.
Julio Truthers everywhere would rejoice.
I just traded him in a dynasty league. So.
Oh,
oops!
No, mate, we didn't say we get the brightest sparks on this show. We just we get.
I did take him.
I
did take him at 13 overall in our big redraft league we just had. So well, mate, I got him in a lot of places.
Yeah, we got one tomorrow, our original one. It's a 14-team league. I'm picking at 12, and my fingers are crossed, mate, that I don't think he will, because I think David Johnson's going to fall too far, so it's going to take away a spot. I think he's going to go just before I want him, but if he's there, mate, I'm grabbing him. All right, defensive player of the year, please, Seth.
All right. Aaron Donald should always be in consideration here, but I'm going to go a little bit homerish here and say Khalil Mack. Year 2 with the Bears in the same offense, although it's not led by the legendary Vic Fangio. It'll be the less than legendary Chuck Pagano, I think Mac's talent will be able to shine through, and he's going to annihilate people this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Unless you're the opposition, he's playing against and being their supporter.
The Mac attack.
Yeah. And John Gruden, who's sitting there, watch that happen. Winner.
Like, Jiminy Christmas, this guy's good.
Not to win me.
Do you know what you need in football? You need good pass rushes.
Where do you find those guys?
Like the ones.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle, defensive player of the year, please. Come on down.
Chalk. Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's going to be the man. Donald.
Your brother.
Donald, yes, whatever.
You put a lot of R's in words.
What I do, man. That's what I do. Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, Chalk. Move on.
AJ.
There's no one close.
My pick this year is the same as my pick last year. And your pick last year, G, you got it right because you said Aaron Donald last year.
Yeah.
And I said...
Back to back, and you said, no, that's not going to happen.
Yes, because I said it was going to be Myles Garrett. And I wasn't... Myles Garrett had a good year, and he's going to have a better year. He had 13 and a half sacks last year. He's coming into year 3. That offense, obviously, we know how good the offense is going to be. The defense is going to be sneaky good. And the front 7, especially, or even the front 4, they brought Olivia Vernon in. It's a nice add. Sheldon Richardson and Larry Ogunjobi, who you can't... I mean, obviously, you're going to double team Myles Garrett, but you can't sort of block all of those dudes. So it's very tricky, and I think he's going to have an absolute... Well, breakout is a hard word to say for a guy that had 13 and a half sacks, but I think he's really just going to take it to the next level.
Yeah, mate, it'd be good if you had him on your roster, like some people do in the Too Legit League. But that's okay. And defending champions. All right. I'm riding that thing, mate, until it's dead. I can tell you. Okay, and my defensive player of the year, I went with the back-to-back last year. AJ said I was a fool. I'm an idiot. Doesn't happen.
I don't know if I said that. But.
This year, three-peat.
Aaron
Donald is going to three-peat it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Wouldn't surprise me. Of course. He's a bloody machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, let's skip Seth because I can't listen to that answer again. Kyle, straight to you.
You're not going to like the rest of my predictions.
Kyle, what do you got, man? Come on, bring this into the realm of reality.
I am gonna steer clear of Kyler. It's tough to always go against quarterbacks because they usually get the benefit of the doubt. But outside of Kyler, I don't think that Jones or Haskins has the talent and or opportunity to make that happen. There's other factors, teams around him, things like that. So I'm gonna go. This one hurts.
What's that? What are you looking at the window, man? What's out there?
There's I got another screen over here.
Oh, yeah. Bright.
Pull operate. Well, the window's right behind it too.
Oh, okay.
Window's over there too. I don't want to. I thought about this.
You can't go hotter than my Kyler Murray pick. So
I'm going Miles Sanders. I think
Sanders.
I think that I don't really like any of the rookies to have huge seasons. I like Jacobs a lot, but I think Sanders being on a team that's going to be more successful this year, I'll go with Miles Sanders as the offensive rookie of the year.
AJ.
Yeah, I went Kyler Murray. So there you go.
But at least you're sensible just to have him as
still there, right? I'm not so crazy that people can't think this is a world that can't occur.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Oh, yeah, of course it can.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And, a guy like this is, you could see him having
in Middle Earth.
A guy, you could see him having a good season because, quarterbacks like this, it takes time for teams to figure them out, kind of.
Yep.
He's got that flashy arm too.
Yeah. That's right. So that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Anyway, Kyler Murray.
Yep. Well, that's more based reality than the whole offensive player of the year, but I can get that. I can be on board with that. But my offensive rookie of the year, mate. Look, when I look at it, I look at the quarterbacks and go, well, there's nothing there that it jumps off the page to me. I look at the running backs and go, well, if Josh Jacobs is the best thing that's out there compared to what's going to be coming out next season. And then you look at the wide receivers, and that's just like We have all this fanfare, and at the moment, none of them are sort of lighting any sort of wick at the moment. So I'm going TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, I like it.
As the rookie. I think he's already shown up in camp. He's shown a little bit. I think once the season gets started, Matt Stafford is going to be finding him quite a fair bit.
I like it. That's a good call, man.
Nice.
All right. I'll go through rounders when we've been through it all, and I'll give him all his.
Okay.
So, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Seth, you're away.
So I'm going to go with Nick Bosa here. He's on the 49ers, and he's playing against the Rams. It'll be difficult to play well against, but you're playing against Arizona and Seattle twice, which are bad, relatively speaking, offensive lines, or at least not that great. So opportunity to get a ton of sacks, and he was one of the highest rated defensive players in this draft. So Nick Bosa, that's fairly chalk, I think.
I'm going with Devin Bush. Steelers linebacker, going to get a lot of pub, going to get a lot of opportunities to earn all those votes. Steelers are obviously on prime time a lot. I think Bush is somebody that obviously they felt really good about. They moved up big time in that trade with Denver on draft night to go get their guy. So I think Devin Bush. For me, when I'm looking at the list, Bosa being a little nicked up this offseason is what concerns me with him. So I'm going to go with Devin Bush. I think he's going to be big time. He could really be up there as far as tackles and all the counting stats too. So I'm going to go with Bush out of Pittsburgh.
You're not kidding. I feel the same way. I mean, Bosa, I think, is going to have a slow start. He's going to be hampered by injuries, and who knows? The guy looks amazing, of course, but I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens with that. But I had Devin Bush as well, because I think that he's just going to be. He is going to just be a tackle machine. He is an all-round good linebacker, but his run stopping ability is better than his coverage ability, and I think that the Steelers knew that in getting him, and he's just going to sit in the middle of that defense and just soak up tackles basically. And we saw him explode in the preseason already. I think he's going to be, as a rookie, even from a fantasy perspective, he's going to explode. So anyway, G,
easy, mate. Once this guy gets rolling, he's probably the most dynamic, explosive, athletic defensive player on the line, and that's Josh Allen. I reckon once he gets rolling in Jacksonville, he's already shown a bit in pre-season. Mate, the dude is seriously like, mate, what, I don't know.
Good.
I'm trying to think of like an explosive that works really well. It's like splitting the atom, mate. The dude is that explosive. I just think once he gets going, mate, you're gonna see a very dominant edge rusher.
I'll tell you, a sneaky one who excites me more than him is Brian Burns. Far out, that dude looks like. Whew, in the preseason, he has looked amazing. So if he carries that form into the regular season, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
anyway.
The defensive guys are a lot more interesting than the offensive players.
Without a doubt, mate.
Like it's going to be fun.
Without a doubt. All right, now we've got that through. I'll give you what Randy's choices are. Randy, Offensive Player of the Year this year is Mayhem, Patrick Mahomes. Defensive Player is Homer pick. Who do you think his Homer pick is?
Darius Leonard.
Yeah,
Darius Leonard.
Thank you. Yeah. He's still a bit annoyed with two guys that actually just went and grabbed him without knowing who he was in a draft.
Yeah.
Dumb luck.
Dumb luck.
Yeah, I was talking to him last week. And he
single-handedly dragging us to the championship game.
Yeah. That team had friggin' Derek Carr and Andy Dalton as our quarterback last year. I don't know how
it didn't pay off for you, did it?
And Darius Leonard just straight up holding us to the championship game.
Yeah. Love it.
Memphis's Offensive Rookie of the Year is Miles Sanders. His Defensive Rookie of the Year is also Josh Allen. Ooh.
Hey, very nice.
There we go. All right. So that moves us on to we'll leave that one. We'll go to the risers and fallers. So Seth, who is going to be the riser in the NFL this year?
All right, so the rise has already started. For this guy. I'm not saying that it's going to be warranted, but it will happen because this is how the media works in New York. And I'm talking about Daniel Jones. He's already lit up the preseason from a statistical perspective. Obviously, he has to be good. Doesn't matter they're playing against second and third string teams. People just look at the box score. What Daniel Jones has done right now that is good is that he's met a minimum threshold of competence against very basic teams, which, in fairness to him, some people thought he wouldn't be able to do coming into this season. But player riser Eli's going to struggle the first couple of weeks, and then all of New York is going to just rise up as one and say, Daniel Jones, get him in. You spent the ninth overall pick or the sixth or whatever, Gettleman. And Gettleman's going to laugh at everybody and not do anything for 2 more weeks, and then the owner will put pressure on him to do it. So Daniel Jones is the biggest riser just because that media market is absolutely bananas, and it will be demanded of them.
Well, I'm going to jump in because I too have Daniel Jones.
Hey, I'm on the same page as somebody.
mate, let's look at the base of his stuff. Mate, the dude is a pile of ashes. He's been cremated. He's been buried. What else can you do to a human body? Decapitated, put to the stake, crucified. Mate, the guy hasn't even played a snap yet. Mate, and if I hear one person anywhere that comes out and said, I believed in Daniel Jones, you are full of shit. Because I have heard... Did you put your hand up?
No, I'm just kidding.
So, mate, he's starting from the ashes. And, mate, look, granted, yeah, Seth, it's not a long way to rise up, is it? But, mate, the guy has a really good chance of being something at the moment because at the moment, mate, people don't expect him to be anything. Right. So, I'm going with you on that.
The most common refrain from analysts this time next year are going to be, well, I didn't have Daniel Jones as low as everyone else.
Yeah.
It's going to be that covering your butt.
I didn't say he wasn't. He's not a good quarterback. I just said, that's not a good spot. That's a bit high to pick him in the draft. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, crap. All right, Kyle.
This doesn't have to be just rookies, does it?
No, mate, no. Anybody.
Okay. I was like, why Daniel? No, but I get it. I'm going with Seth's boy, man. Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. He's going to have a big time season this year. I like the second year of that offense. This is a kid that only played 1 year as a starter in college. That he had his redshirt year in the NFL under John Fox. But his second year under Matt Nagy. And I like what they have around him, adding David Montgomery. Gives a running back that doesn't just shoot off flares for the defense every time Jordan Howard came on the field. We're like, okay, well, we don't have to worry about him in the passing game. So I think that the offense is going to be much better than even it was last season. So I think Trubisky's in for a big year, takes a big step, and I think he's going to get some MVP votes.
I can see that happening. And there'll be a lot of love when you two get together and do your next pod because of it.
Well, you're a big film guy. Do you ever watched Brett Coleman on YouTube? He does a series called The Film Room.
No.
Okay, so he's a guy that I've discovered through other people, but Brett Coleman and the series is called The Film Room. He did like a 25-minute video on Trubisky last season, and he said in like his 10 years of doing film watching, this is the first guy he's watched quarterback that he has no idea how to project him going forward because he sees all of the things that he does amazingly well, just like the clutch throws and all of that stuff. And then 3 plays later, the exact same formation and play, the most boneheaded mistakes ever. So the range of outcomes for Mitch is extremely high, and I hope it falls on the side of him being very good, obviously.
He's not the guy. Does he just stand in front of a video camera and just talk?
No.
Okay.
He has the film going.
He has the film going.
I'm like, wait, Mr. Trubisky. Why would he be bad?
Very statuesque.
So did he change? Because when he was coming out of the draft, everyone was calling him Mitch Trubisky, and then he's like, no, it's Mitchell. And now everywhere, all the sites have him as Mitch.
Oh,
so did he finally give in to this, or what?
Yeah, I think he just gave in because the media dubs you a certain name. You're almost certainly going to stay with that name.
Yep. Gotcha.
And Mitch sounds more, like
Mitchell Trubisky.
Mitchell sounds like you're still living at home with your mum.
Yep,
Mitchell.
Exactly.
Camp with his grandma's car or something like that. So I don't know.
AJ, who do you have?
Listen, we before we hit record, G, we were talking about like who has made the biggest call in terms of riser, like which player has got the most to rise from. And
I thought Daniel Jones was pretty. Well, a big call.
Yeah, it is, but I think mine is too.
But this is ridiculous. This is up there with Kyler Murray as offensive player of the year.
Let's go,
Mister Josh Rosen.
Hey, there we
Miami
go.
quarterback, who last year, now in his rookie season, he didn't start all the games.
He's not going to start all the games this year either.
No, he won't, but he had 2,278 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and he was 3-10 as starter. But it was the worst offensive line in football. Only their centre, Mason Cole, was able to stay healthy for more than 600 snaps. They had 11 different offensive linemen who played at least 100 snaps, and none of them were good. None of them played well. And
the law of averages say we've got to find one.
Right.
And Mike McCoy was the offensive coordinator there, and when you've some of these coaches, you have had to have had the fan experience of them, and you're the Chargers head coach.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've had that experience, haven't you?
Oh, my goodness. So, as soon as I knew that fact, it was like, well, that says a lot.
It's hard doing a pod with your co-host when that's your offensive coordinator and you have to do a pod each week and he's in tears.
And he was fired halfway through the season as well.
I became a counsellor.
So, look, and Miami, I'm not saying it's necessarily... Well, it is a better situation. And I'm not saying it's a great situation, but I think that, Josh Rosen was highly touted. A lot of people really liked his talent coming out for good reason. And I think we're going to see that. So, and
he's got my boy there.
Yes, Preston Williams.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. There we go. Well, as someone who owns Josh Rosen in that Too Legit league, I hope you're right because we took him over. We traded big draft capital for this season to move up to get our two quarterbacks, and we took Lamar Jackson, and then we took Rosen over Baker. So, yeah, hope you're right.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
We're still 100%. Like, Lamar was the correct choice. It's just we got cute and took Rosen over Baker.
We felt that it was safer because we felt like Baker was more of a wild card at the time, and since we took a wild card in Lamar, we went that route. And I agree. Rosen gets dumped on so much, and he just was in a horrendous situation. His freaking GM couldn't even be with the team for the first month because he's too busy driving drunk. And then they fired their offensive coordinator like 6 weeks into the season. Right. It was just horrendous. They had nobody around him. I'm rooting for Rosen. I am rooting for him. Separate of the Too Legit team, I am rooting for that kid.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how horrendous that situation was in Arizona last year. I can't remember a single team in the last decade that was that bad. All around, from the front office to the field, everything went wrong in that offense. And David Johnson was still running back then. But, yeah. So,
and not to mention, I mean, I do really feel for the guy because, like, a new head coach comes in and it's like, oh, well, we're going to pick a quarterback at 1 and we're going to get rid of you. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell's up with that?
Yeah.
Well, I already didn't get a fair shake the season before. And now, like, out of all of the quarterbacks that, like, in the first round that have, like, busted out and everything, Rosen stands out because he did not get a fair shake whatsoever.
No, mate, he's probably just secretly, he's probably pretty happy he's not there, to be honest.
Probably.
Could be.
Like you can see your career coming to an abrupt end with one hit because your offensive line can't block.
Yeah. Now, G, we heard yours.
Okay,
Randy,
and no, we'll do his after we've done our faller. So who's our faller? Take it away, Seth.
The handsome one himself, Jimmy Garoppolo. The fall has already started here, but
That's a good one too. I didn't think of Jimmy. I like that.
How do you fall if you're on the ground already?
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a fair point, but he last season, before he got injured, wasn't playing that great. We forget about it because we were watching C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins for most of that season. But the first couple of games he had were not going well. Now, definitely something he could have grown into, and we haven't seen a full season out of him yet. So I could be wrong on this one, but I think the shine's going to come off Jimmy G here, and I think they're going to be looking for their franchise quarterback of the future next season.
Okay.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, for sure.
And they talk about paying people money.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle.
I'm going with another QB. I think it's going to be Drew Brees. It's been a good run. What is he, 41 this season? It's not everyone's Tom Brady, and I think we're going to see that cliff come pretty quick for Brees. At the end of last season, he was really rough. And while this is a good team around him, and they have talent with Thomas and Kamara, I'm just not sure it's going to be enough this season. So I'm kind of maybe trying to predict it a year ahead. I've been doing it with Tom Brady for years and been wrong.
You'll get it right eventually, mate.
I think, right. I'm just going to keep throwing darts. So I'll go with Drew Brees.
No, I can see it after his second half last year was not off the cliff, but you could see him sort of starting to. I've got a bit too close to the edge, and the ground starting to break away from under. It did look like he was really struggling.
Yeah, just don't be Peyton, Drew Brees. Yeah, if this is the end, please don't be Peyton Manning on his last season.
Don't win a Super Bowl.
They can't afford to do that. They don't have that Denver defense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It is a good defense, though.
Yeah. And they don't have Brock Osweiler to back him up either, So
they have Taysom Hill.
God, Taysom Hill.
Mate, he throws one touchdown pass in preseason. Oh my God! We can see he's the quarterback of the future for the Saints. Okay,
enjoy that.
Nice. Yeah. AJ, who you got?
I've got Mr. Big Chest. So, from the now. This might be a bit polarizing because I know that some people are super high on AB and think he's just going to come out and absolutely ball. Now, the blonde mo, all the bitching with Big Ben and Juju and the Steelers and all the frozen feet and the helmet. He's a 31-year-old quarterback, and I reckon all that sort of rubbish is just smokescreen for the fact that he's lost a step. It might not be a conscious thing, but I think he's on his way out. And look, he's going to... And I do like Derek Carr, but Derek Carr doesn't have the arm that Big Ben has, and Ben could put the ball exactly where AB needed the ball to be. And so they both benefited from each other, I think he's really going to miss that, as much as he bitches about Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to miss that, man. The first game, and he realizes that the balls that are, just missing him, that he would have gotten. Yeah, exactly. I think he's going to fall. I think it's going to be dramatic.
And I look forward to when he gets knocked out and sues the NFL because of the helmet he's wearing.
He'll never die.
My fall this year is David Johnson. He's not going to fall off a cliff, but I just think for the standard that he's set, unfortunately we really have no idea, even from preseason, what this offense is.
No, we don't.
We bring in this fast-paced air raid spread offense. Who knows? Does it help David Johnson? Don't know. Is the offense any good? Don't know. Is the head coach any good? Don't know. Is the quarterback any good? Don't know. There's too
offensive
many...
rookie of the year.
The offensive rookie of the year. Sorry. Offensive player of the year. Woo! There's too many unknowns But one thing we do know is the offensive line sucks. I just look. He did well last year for what he had, what was asked of him. But this is a whole new ball game now. So I don't know. There's too many unknowns. So as what Randers had put down, I will let you know in 2 secs after I work out what my passcode is. But Randers has as his riser, he has Sam Darnold, and
about right.
As his faller, he too has David Johnson.
Wow,
hey, look at that, man!
There we go.
One mind.
Well, we're sharing a soul at the moment.
You didn't copy his answers, did you?
I did. I wasn't very good at school, but yeah. I had a look. I didn't copy all of them, though. I wanted to be a little bit different.
I got like maybe 5 minutes, or else I'm going to be spending a lot more time with you guys going forward because I might be divorced.
Okay,
so.
all right.
Well,
we haven't got. Okay, let's go quickly then. Coach's hot seat. Who's on the hot seat? Seth.
All right, so I have 2 answers for this. One is the coach that it should be, but won't, and then the one that's actually on the hot seat. Jay Gruden. Good Lord. That man needs to get fired immediately. Everything about the Washington Redskins is terrible, including their ownership and GM situation, but you have been mediocre for a decade. You can't do anything except win enough games to keep you out of the top part of the draft. Get out of here. Let that team rebuild, reset. But that won't happen because reasons. The guy that's actually on the hot seat is Bill O'Brien for the Texans. I think that it's very possible that if they don't get this Larry Tunsil thing done and they don't get enough offensive line around Deshaun Watson, Watson gets injured and everybody's going to be pointing to, Andrew Luck, that Ryan Grigson didn't take care of him and now he's retired and we can't lose Deshaun Watson. Get out of here, Bill O'Brien. Get someone in here that will get an actual GM, for one, because Bill O'Brien's playing that part. But get someone in here that'll actually take care of the quarterback.
Very good. Call before you get divorced.
Cliff Kingsbury. 1 year.
Whoa, 1 year.
1 year.
Whoa.
1 year coaches for the Cardinals. That would set that franchise back.
That GM, they're all blow the whole thing to hell.
And they go tour number 1, 2020.
Yeah, that would be great. They get Nick Saban to be the coach, and he drafts Tua, and it's done. I honestly, G said it. I mean, this is question marks out the wazoo, and that offensive line is the one thing we do know, and it is horrible. Yeah. And this defense is not good. And Patrick Peterson suspended for like 8 games. I mean, this is going to be rough. And I think that that GM, this is it. That was his final bullet, and he went into this crazy route. I'm not sure if it's going to work, and he could be gone. Everybody could just be cleaned house, and it could just be Kyler just standing there on his box trying to get to 6 feet.
Agreed. AJ.
I've got Mike Vrabel, and I think I think it's strongly tied to the Marcus Mariota drama that will play out. And if he keeps Mariota in there when he shouldn't, or if he pulls Mariota, it's a tough situation. And John Robinson, the GM, has been there since 2016. Didn't draft Mariota. It could just be. Let's get a new coach for 2020 and a new quarterback. Do the whole package. So
we'll have a new quarterback this year, Ryan Tannehill.
Well, that's right.
Week 4.
All right. On the coach's hot seat, I had Jay Gruden as well, but I'm going to give him a bit of a leave pass because, mate, he's pretty much been given not much to play with.
For the GM.
But look, I'm going to say Jason Garrett. I don't think how good the Cowboys do this year. I think Jason Garrett's gone. I think Jerry wants to keep this team together for one reason. One reason only is because Drew Brees will hang it up next year, and we know what happens when he goes. That's the head coach in New Orleans will find his way to Dallas.
Yep.
So I think Jason Garrett is
12 years in the making.
Yeah, yes. So I think Jason Garrett's as good as gone. And even I don't think you win in the Super Bowl. Even making the playoff, I don't think that matters now. I think he's had his time. Okay, we'll do this. This will be our last one.
Go to Kyle first.
And we'll go to Kyle. This is the big call. What is your big call for the 2019 season? Make it big.
Oh, my big call for the season. I'm going to go with...
it better be big.
I'm going to go with Darius Geis finishes as a top 12 fantasy running back.
That's not big enough.
Nah.
That's not big?
Nah.
No.
Top 12? Please.
Top 5.
There we go. That's better.
All right. Top 12.
With Zeke and Melvin Gordon out, it's actually plausible.
The Geis isn't even a starter right now. That's not big enough? All right. I guess I'll let
you Did you send Kyle the message?
I did send
that
a
message.
It was
a big call?
I did put big. I'm pretty sure I didn't say just a call. I did say no, it's big.
I didn't see any message. I can recycle my hot take from the War Zone when I said that James Washington would be a top 24 fantasy wide receiver.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's better.
That's better. Jeez, dude, put him on the block. Don't be, mate. You've been married, dude. It doesn't matter if you're losing now. Useless to you.
There you go.
Trust me.
I'm gonna leave you with that cold take, guys. So it's good chatting with you.
Yep.
I will let
you go, man.
Fellas, but
thank you, wife, for us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for moving this up so I could at least be a part for a bit.
Hey, no worries, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Do it for you, man. Yeah. All right.
Catch you later.
Here.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, Seth, give us a big call. Let's make it big.
Yeah. So we're still doing play of the year?
Yeah, we'll still do that, mate.
We will.
Yeah,
okay.
Screw Kyle.
Okay. So
now that he's gone, he's not there, is he? Still not there? He's gone.
No, he's gone.
He seriously shits
still
me,
doing play of the year. So
he annoys the crap out of
if
me.
we weren't going to do that, I was going to make the play of the year the big call because my big call was that Frank Gore would lead the Bills running backs overall in fantasy.
Wow.
I did it before the news came out.
It doesn't look as big now.
That's no longer a big call. Mark Ingram as a top 10 running back, is that big enough? It's not quite Darius.
No, that's not.
That's not super big.
You know what? The Kyler Murray thing was big enough.
Yeah, now we're talking.
And the play of the year is going to blow your friggin' mind.
I'm looking forward to that, man. Looking forward to that.
Pass on to Frank Gore.
AJ, big call.
Oh, mine is a big call.
Okay.
Yeah. I said that sometime in the second half of the season, Chad Kelly's going to take over the starting job in Indianapolis. Ooh. And not only will he bring the Colts tantalizingly close to a playoff berth, he's just going to do enough to put in serious doubt the question is whether they're going to actually go and get a rookie quarterback next year. So he's going to sow the seed. He's going to do super well. And, Jacoby Brissett is very serviceable. Nothing against Brissett, but I think Chad Kelly's going to get his chance, whether it's because Brissett is faltering or there's an injury and he's going to be thrust into the limelight. He almost did it, apart from the fact that he just sort of, it was
rocked up at someone's house on holiday.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of slices short of a loaf. But he almost had his shot in Denver. Man, and didn't think he would get another shot. And the guy, on tape is quite talented. He's going to get a shot to prove it, I believe.
Okay. Oof. All right. Well, that is big. That's right up there with Kyler Murray.
Bigger than me for sure.
Ooh, okay, my big call's not that big, but I made the same one as I did on Memphis on the Dynasty Warzone when I rang up and made the big call. And my big call is that Leonard Fournette will be the leading running back in yards and TDs in 2019.
That is a big call.
Over your Christian McCaffrey, over Kamara.
That ain't happening.
Over when Zeke plays.
That is a big call.
There we go. Okay. All right, now... Randers play Randers.
Did he give you a big call?
Yeah, Randers did give me a big call. He's given me a few things I actually did miss out on. He had Bill O'Brien as the coach on the hot seat, and his big call, he put down Leonard Fournette as going to comeback player of the year after leading the NFL in rushing. And I texted him, dude, you stole my Fournette call after I spoke to you. But
you are one mind, one soul.
Well, he stole it because I told him that on his shows. But I said it's high praise for you to agree with me. So his big call, he goes, okay, big call part 2. Cooper Kupp returns from his ACL and he's a top 8 PPR wide receiver and finishes higher than Mike Evans.
Oh, wow.
He had me up to that point. I love Mike Evans this year.
Wow. So that's not too bad. I like it. especially because I have a lot of shares in Cooper Kupp. All right, so
Player of the year?
The last of our chat tonight is Player of the Year. Now, we're basing this on a Player of the Year. I think last year the NFL voted on the fact that it was the miracle in Miami, the last play against the Patriots. But it can be anything. I said, for example, it can be the Odell Beckham catch that he made. It can be the Minnesota miracle. It doesn't have to be a turning point of a game. It doesn't have to be for an outcome of a game. It can be absolutely anything. Just something that at the end of the year is something we all remember and something that people will be talking about. So based on that, Seth, what have you got for us, mate? And you said this is bigger than your big call.
It is. It's so utterly ridiculous. I don't know if you want to have some sense of reality and do yours after mine, or it should just be the thing that we end on. I'm going to leave it up to you because it is bonkers.
Mine's pretty bonkers too. But anyway.
All right.
We're all bonkers.
We're all bonkers.
That's true. We are all bonkers for fantasy football. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys a story. And it's a story about a young quarterback in the desert. And to start the season, the Cardinals will play against the Lions. And the preseason aside,
is anyone at that game?
About what?
Any spectators?
Yeah, they haven't shown the spectators anything. They haven't given their hand away at all. And Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray come out in week 1 against the Lions, and they institute some of this offense. And against the Lions, they do very, very well, surprising a bunch of people. And then next week, again, week 2 against the Ravens, Kyler is shockingly brought back down to earth, and everybody's going to start doubting them again. Over the next 3 or 4, or after the next 4 games, Kyler Murray continues to build back up that offense. And against the Bengals in week 5, he does an excellent performance. And then week 6, it's week 6. We're playing against, they're playing in the desert against the Falcons, Falcons. And they are going lights out. Both these offenses are going lights out. And the crowd is going nuts. We're seeing could this get as big as the Chiefs and Rams game last season? And the play of the year is going to be when Larry Fitzgerald catches his 3rd touchdown of the night for the 10th touchdown of that season already, breaking the record of 11th highest touchdown score of all time, passing Walter Payton. And that also puts the game almost out of reach for the Falcons, but it breaks the highest scoring game record of 113 points. The Falcons end up winning. Because I still think the Cardinals are not going to be able to finish. But boy, oh boy, are the Cardinals going to put up points in this little fantasy world I have contrived.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. I don't see that. That is fantasy. That is, Middle Earth talking.
That's pretty out there.
Yeah. Okay. But that's what it's...
I wanted to make
I like it.
The 10 touchdown thing, I thought it was going to be against the Rams, but it sounded better playing against the Falcons.
Yeah, thanks, man. And we win, so I don't care. You can score 5 that day, but we end up winning. That's fine. I'm happy with that. I just want the points. Just give me the win. Just give me the big W.
Yeah, you get a W.
AJ.
Okay. Well, I'm going for a moment in the AFC Championship game.
It's just dawned on me that Seth has a lot riding on Kyler Murray this year. Do you have him in a lot of your fantasy leagues?
Almost none of them, actually. I'm covering all my bases. If I don't do well in fantasy, I could do very, very well in this prediction show. I'll have something to point to.
Or you're just trying to moz him on purpose because you don't have shares in him.
No comment.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a tense AFC Championship game. We are talking Chiefs and Browns in the AFC Championship game.
Picturing it.
It's an aerial display, and it's going down to the wire. The Browns have just kicked a field goal. They've taken the lead, 34-31, and Cleveland City is going bonkers. There's less than a minute to play. After getting a couple of first downs, the Chiefs are closer, but the clock's against them. It's 3rd and 10. Mahomes is hanging in the pocket, but it collapses and he's forced to scramble. He runs to the left. He's running for his absolute life, and there's outstretched hands just barely almost making contact and bringing him down, but not quite. He slings the ball across his body, 70-yard strike to Tyreek Hill for the touchdown and the AFC Championship game.
He throws the body. He throws the ball. He's running to the left. He's right-handed. He throws the ball across his body for 70 yards.
Yes. To Tyreek Hill.
He's going to do the left-handed throw like he did last year. This time it's for 70 yards.
Right. No, he's not going to do a left-handed throw. To Tyreek, you reckon in my moment.
Are you sure he's not running to his right?
No, he's not running to his right.
That's a good throw.
Not across his body.
Off balance.
Off balance. For the touchdown and the championship game as the time expires.
Okay, that's a good throw. Are you sure Tyreek Hill doesn't?
Only the film watcher would interrupt that beautiful story, point out an inconsistency of like, how do you throw across your body? Come on, man.
You sure didn't throw up 10 yards at Tyreek Hill and he took it the other 60?
No.
Okay.
It's my story.
There's like 3 guys that can throw as hard as him.
Yeah, but mate,
I'm going to bomb at 70 yards.
70-yard bomb throwing the
70
ball.
air yards is what you're calling for.
Yes.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
Huge.
I'm giving Larry Fitzgerald 10 touchdowns.
might as well throw it the whole 100, I reckon, across his body.
All right.
Okay. Mine is we're in the last game of the home away season. This is why I didn't have the Steelers making the playoffs. They play the Ravens in the last game.
Ooh.
The Steelers are up by 3. It's the last opportunity, the last drive opportunity that the Ravens have. Lamar Jackson finds himself on his own 1-yard line and breaks off a 99-yard run to top Terrell Pryor's 93 touchdown run, which is the NFL record for a quarterback TD run. Also knocking the Steelers out of making the playoffs.
Man, oh man.
Is that game in Pittsburgh?
That's a good question. I actually didn't look at where I don't care where it is, mate. I just like the fact that there's half a part of reality. Okay, it might not come down to that, but there's a pretty good chance that Lamar Jackson could break off a 90-plus yard run this year.
Yeah.
Out of anybody in the NFL, Lamar Jackson is probably the best running quarterback in the NFL, period, in terms of pure running.
Oh, without a doubt. He makes people look stupid. He really does. He has that ability. He has that ability.
17.
If he was a bit bigger build, mate, he'd be a beautiful running back. But he's just obviously not going to be able to take the punishment at running back camp. But man, the dude, if you could get a running back with the way that he moves, with the size of running back and the staying power, mate, you'd be looking at some sort of freak. You'd be looking at Bo Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like, this is far more closer to my actual fantasy analysis takes, is that I have a lot of Lamar Jackson this season because I think all he needs to do is improve his throwing ability by, I don't know, 15%, which again would not be much. And he's a fantasy force to be reckoned with because you have a lot of speed and agility in that offense in year 2, plus the rushing ability. Man, I mean, he's a top 3 fantasy quarterback upside this year.
Yeah, and mate, just keep an eye on Justice Hill because of Lamar Jackson.
Yep,
mate, that's going to open up some big running lanes for someone like Justice Hill, man, and he's going to chew up yards very, very quick.
Yeah, split him out wide and make him Duke Johnson. Have Mark Ingram and him on the field at the same time. Then you got Miles Boykin on the side, Marquise Brown in the slot or on the opposite of Miles Boykin. It's an offense along with Mark Andrews and all of the 27 tight ends that they usually roster. On paper, this could be a very fun offense.
Well, I think Mark Andrews already showed himself that, mate, you have to cover me.
Right. I'm not blocking. I'm not just blocking tight end. I can.
Yep. I can get down the field. Make you pay for just let me sort of roam. So,
listen,
that wraps it up.
It does. That was fantastic. And
let Seth go and enjoy his Saturday morning. What's left of it? Any plans, mate? What are the plans today?
I have. Oh wait, I don't have a fantasy draft today. That's weird. I've had like one every day this week. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Did Randy have a big play, though?
He does, actually. I was just looking it up. Thanks, Seth. His big play, Carson Wentz runs a naked bootleg to win the division. Oh, geez, I'm glad that Kyle's gone. From Dallas in week 16.
I love it.
So,
I love it.
Mate, how did you get on the...
All of our plays, that is probably the most likely thing to happen.
Yeah, that is based purely in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, except for the fact where Carson Wentz is available in week 16. But.
And that he's naked on the football field. I don't get that. And why he's running just naked with a pair of boots on. But there you go. There you go.
Man. Well, listen.
So, okay, where can everybody find the fellas, mate?
Yeah, so on Twitter at the FF Fellas, and then our podcast drop everywhere where podcasts are usually found. The Fantasy Football Fellas. Just search Fellas in the Apple Podcast or wherever podcasts are found. Like I said, hit subscribe. And during the season, we're 4 episodes a week.
That's just freaky, man. You guys are a machine.
We really do love our work.
Yep.
As we say. So we love doing it. They're usually shorter episodes than your traditional 1 hour episodes, and we're always available at like 4 a.m. Just for your morning commute. So that's one way we like to be available for our listeners.
Mate, that's
nice.
Great. That's awesome, dude. That really is, mate. And to pump it out every day, almost every day, 4 days a week. That to me and AJ, takes us a month to do that. That's incredible, mate. But you guys are a great listen.
Here.
Yeah. I get a bit sick of Seth's voice. Of Kyle's voice. But, no, I don't. Not really. But yeah, you should give the guys a listen for sure. You probably, as you done, mate. You pump them at that. You might not be listening to everyone every week, but mate, you're going to cover a lot of content. In 4 shows a week.
Yeah, exactly. And a shout out to Randers who was on earlier. Dynasty Warzone. And I just very recently did the Colts preview with him. That was prior to the Andrew Luck news, which was unfortunate. But what can you do? It's just the nature of this kind of...
at EFF Memphis for his Twitter handle. So he's an awesome follow and an awesome listen on the Dynasty Warzone pod. You should definitely check them out.
And he has been, if you follow him, he has been getting a little bit salty of late on his Twitter, which is great.
Yeah, and Jerry's followed Yuji, world traveler, or at least state traveler. I think he's just been on vacation the last couple of weeks.
Who was that?
Jerry has.
Oh, has he? Where's he been?
Same place as you. Probably. You were probably riding bikes in Austria together, weren't you?
Yeah. He was pushing. I don't go uphill, mate, so he was just pushing it up, and then I just take it down. So, all good. All right, mate, we'll let you go. Thanks very much for being on. Greatly appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, guys. Love these episodes that we do. So keep killing it in Down Under, and we'll talk soon.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot. And thanks, everybody. If you're listening to this or if you've tuned in, we appreciate it. And it is kind of late here, and this is getting on, so we better wrap it up. But thank you very much. Appreciate you tuning in, and the season's almost upon us. And we will go back at the end of this,
as we do every year. And we'll see how many we get right, and most of them we get wrong. But it's all just a part of just getting together with some mates and just chatting. It's just an excuse.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's very, very hard to actually nail these sorts of predictions down. That's where it comes.
There's so much that rides on it. There's coaching decisions. There's office decisions that change players around, and we trade this, and this season's not going too well. This guy will give him away, and there's injuries, and there's weather, and there's God knows what else.
Yep.
So they're all hard, but like I said, it's just a bit of fun. A group of guys getting together and having a bit of chat, and just an excuse, mate. Just an excuse.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I need to go.
We need to go sleep. We got a draft very soon. So
we do actually. Yeah, we do. So on behalf of G and myself, thank you everybody for listening, and we will catch you next time. See you later.